So welcome everyone to today's webinar in the Continuing Intuit Business Builder series. And let's get started. We're going to talk about obviously review sites today and how they can help your business. So myself, for those of you who don't know me, I am the co-owner of a bookkeeping and QuickBooks training firm located in Burlington, Ontario. We've been very, very fortunate. We've actually had a very good couple of years. Last year, 2016, we were voted the Canadian Bookkeeping Firm of the Year by the IPBC. And then just a few weeks ago, it was announced we were the Canadian winner of the Intuit Firm of the Future and one of 4 global finalists for Firm of the Future, competing against firms from Australia, the UK, and the US. So we're really excited about that and feel really honored. I've also been fortunate to be a presenter at QB Connect in the past. Some of you may have seen me there. Also was presenter Scaling New Heights, which was awesome. It was in the Bahamas. And so that was great. I'm also one of the co-founders of Ninja, which you may be familiar with. It's an education, training, and support community specifically for bookkeepers. So that's who I am. And here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to have a look at review sites and how they can impact your business. You know, what they can do to help you grow your business. We're going to talk a little bit about how to get good reviews, how you deal with those negative reviews, and even worse, fake reviews. And also then towards the end, we'll have a look at which I believe are the best review sites for our industry, because there's so many of them out there, but which are the ones we should look at. So I've sort of got my top 3 there at the end. And then we'll have time for Q&A at the end. If you have a question, and just type it in, and if it requires a short answer, I will try to deal with it right away. If it's going to be a little longer, I will leave it until the end. But my role here is to try and help you as much as possible and give you as much information as possible. So please feel free to ask me anything about review sites, and I will try my very best to help you out with that. Now, before we jump right in, I'd just like to do just a little bit of housekeeping here. First of all, let's make sure the chat box is working. So if you could perhaps just type in your first name and tell me what part of the country you are in today, that would be awesome. And then I would get to see that our chat box is working. So let me just... Okay. Awesome. All right. Good, good. Okay. So, like I said, we will have time at the end for questions. Also at the end, I will share my email address with you, so if you have any questions that come up after the presentation, then we can, I can try to help you at that point. So, let's jump right in here, and you may be familiar with some of these logos that we're seeing on the page. But you know, what is a review site? What is it? Quite simply, it is nothing more than a website in which you can post reviews about people, businesses, products, services. And here are some of the more familiar ones that you probably know about. Now, with review sites, whether we like it or not, they are a fact of life. And they are being used because people, your clients and mine, love leaving online reviews. And perhaps just as importantly, they love reading them as well. You know, and online reviews are not going away anytime soon. You know, they're no longer just review sites like Yelp or TripAdvisor. You know, they're They're everywhere. They're available and visible on Google search, even in social media networks like Facebook. And I have to tell you, honestly, when I first started seeing these review sites, many years ago, I really didn't take them very seriously. I didn't quite get it. Who's going to believe a review that someone's left online? But I certainly underestimated how big they would become. Like me, you may be tempted, to brush them off and just say, that's a nice to have, or it's just there. They'll have no impact on me or my business. But honestly, I really believe if you take them lightly today, it could be a big mistake. Customers are relying really heavily on them to make buying decisions, or certainly help them to make the right buying decisions. So the purpose of today's webinar is to introduce them to you, help you understand how they can help your business, and show you some tools and tricks to get you started. But why? Why are they becoming so popular? And why are people using them to make buying decisions? It's not that long ago that when people wanted to find a new accountant, a new tax professional, a new bookkeeper, they would just ask a friend, a member of the family, a business colleague, or they'd just go to the Yellow Pages, look for the biggest ad in the Yellow Pages, and pick up the phone. Today, that's all changed. Review sites and online reviews have become so prevalent because people can get some reassurance in the form of reviews, which can help to begin to build some trust between you and the prospective client. Also, reviews help to provide transparency and objectivity, right? These are third-party social proof of what others think about a particular business or service provider. And that can be a really powerful marketing tool if you use it properly. Today we all know the majority of people, in fact, over 97% of all consumers begin their research online. And over 83% of them read reviews. For that reason, you need to be doing everything you can to get found online so you can be part of that research. And I'm going to digress here for a sec because this isn't review sites, but it's something I believe so strongly and so passionately. I did want to take just a few seconds, and that is getting online, getting your business online. You must be there. Otherwise, when potential clients begin their research, how can you be part of the conversation if they could never find you? Yet, when I go to conferences, I find and I speak to so many professionals in our industry who still have no online presence. And quite honestly, the blunt truth is, today there are no excuses. If you look at the URLs that are on the screen right now, the first three, squarespace.com, wix.com, and GoDaddy, you can get a good-looking website, designed, hosted, everything for less than $20 a month. $20 a month. So do yourself a favor and your business. Get online, please. And you'll also notice Facebook business page. For those of you who don't want a website, at least get a business page on Facebook. They're free. And Google My Business Listings, we're going to talk about that quite a bit more as we move on. So now let's get into the review sites. I will now step down off my soapbox and we can continue. So as we mentioned, right, 97% of all consumers begin their research online. And this is why review sites and online reviews have become so prevalent. Reassurance in the form of reviews can begin to establish trust, as we said, between the potential client and the service provider, you. Also, as I mentioned, they help build and provide some transparency because it's not you promoting you. It's what others think about a particular service provider. And reviews provide an essential form of that social proof. Customers of every business can be impacted by customer reviews. You know, online reviews, both good and bad, and over 80% of customers trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. Think about that for a minute. Over 80% of them trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations because it's third party. It's perceived as objectivity. And unbelievably, reviews are now trusted 5-to-1 over advertising. Wow. So, as an added bonus, so we start building this trust, we've got this transparency because of the third-party objectivity, but as an added bonus to all that, not only consumers like reviews, but so do the search engines. In fact, according to most experts in the field of search engine optimization, or SEO, excuse me, 7 to 13% of a local website's search engine ranking is determined by online reviews. Positive customer reviews are considered a very high source of how trustworthy a business is in the eyes of Google, giving that site a higher search ranking. So we've got three things, right? Three important things as to why we need to be considering those reviews. So, review sites help establish trust, provide transparency, and help in the search engine results. Great. Sorry about that. Just a small technical glitch with the operator here. But how else can they help their business other than the transparency, the search engine results, and the trust? Well, they can also help increase your brand exposure since they can help you stand out in those search results. You can also use them as testimonials or social proof in your content marketing. Maybe put some of them on your website, in your emails, in your social media posts. Reviews can also be a great way of collecting customer feedback, good and bad. Do you need to adjust your services or your marketing messages? Sometimes that feedback from your customers will help, and reviews can help with all of that. So lots and lots of benefits. Now, we've mentioned a couple of times how reviews can help with how well your business displays in the search engine results in Google. So let's take a closer look at this. And here's an example. So let's say you go to Google, you live in Winnipeg, you're looking for a new accounting firm, you don't know any of the accounting firms, so you just type in accounting firm Winnipeg, enter. Now look at the top 2 results that came up. Look at the reviews. So when someone doesn't know the name of your business and they are just looking for a new accountant, a new bookkeeper, a new tax professional, do you see how these reviews can help to get those firms to the top of the page in the search results? Very important. Now, here's an example where, let's say they do know the name of your business. Maybe someone recommended you, but they don't really know where you are. They don't know much about you. They just know the name. Now, when you type the business name into Google search, you will see your firm's My Business page. And this is, again, that Google My Business, which we're going to talk about in more detail a little bit later. And I'm going to show you how to get that listing on the page. Now look, if you notice it down the right side of the page, notice it shows the Google reviews that are there. But if you look down a little lower, look, it also shows the Facebook reviews. So the reviews are being tracked by Google from both sources and being shown in your listing. So obviously Google is putting a lot of weight here onto reviews. And they pick up the reviews not only from Google reviews and Facebook, but they actually pick them up from many, many different sources. And then they use them to improve the search engine user's experience because of the trust factor that Google gives them. So are you starting to see, if perhaps just a little bit, how much reviews can be important and can help your business? I hope so. So we've established, I think, some definite value in getting reviews. But how do you ask for them? You know, asking for a testimonial or a review is something that most of us are not comfortable with. I mean, I know I'm not. You know, it's human nature. But when you're prepared and you have a script, it becomes much easier. So if you're one of those people not comfortable with asking, then prepare yourself a simple script. It can be as, 3 or 4 sentences. It doesn't have to be a whole lot, but just something you can memorize so you can rehearse. And ask them things like, are you happy with the service we have provided for you? Presuming the answer is yes, and I'm sure it would be, would you mind doing me a favor? Today, reviews are a very important part of how we market our business, and we would really appreciate your help in giving us a review. You know, my experience is people want to help people, particularly if you have just helped them. What if you just saved this individual or this business $1,000 on their taxes? Don't you think they would love to reciprocate and help you? Of course they would. Tell them that what you want is honest, detailed feedback. Make sure that they know they're doing it to help you. And obviously, be thankful, be humble, be yourself. And most importantly, and I know this is obvious, but ask, right? If you don't ask, you don't get. So make sure you are asking for those reviews. Now, asking is the first step. You also need to make it easy for them to give you the review, right? It's one thing to say, yes, please give me a review. Yeah, sure, no problem. How do I do that? So the first thing you should do is, before you start asking for these reviews, is make sure you've gone out and listed your business on as many business directory sites as possible. And here are some Canadian business directories that you can list on for free, and people can give you a review. And so I would take, probably the 15-20 minutes that it takes. If you're not already listed, these are probably the top 4 business directory sites in Canada, and I highly recommend that you get yourself listed on all of those. Now, when it comes to reviews, it doesn't really matter, right, how good you think you are. The only thing that matters is how good your customers think you are. It is great to get reviews, but, what could you do to try and, improve the reviews you're getting? Well, before we have a look at that, let's just talk about 2 or 3 things here that you absolutely have to avoid doing. The first one is, and I see this too often, writing fake reviews for your own business. Lots of people do it, but once you get caught, your credibility is done for. And plus, I mean, it's not really a sustainable way of building your brand, is it? I mean, how many fake accounts can you create? And if you're taking all that time to create fake accounts, maybe you could put that time to good use in other ways of building your business. You know, another thing, do not pay third parties to post fake reviews. Same reason as above. You risk having the reviews and your profile removed from the review sites. And that won't help at all, will it? Getting too many reviews at once is suspicious at best. You know, even if the reviews are real, you know, and you see somebody comes to your site, they look at the review and you got, you know, 10 reviews last week, nothing from the year before and nothing in the last 3 months. It looks a little weird. So once you've built your process for asking for reviews, do it in an ongoing way so that there's consistency in the reviews you get. So the steps to getting those better reviews, I believe, are creating your business profiles on all the online review sites. Remember, the first impression is key, so make that profile of your business as good as you can, as relevant as you can. You know, if possible, add photographs, the hours of your business, your address, your phone number. The more complete it is, the better for you. Actively ask for those reviews from your clients. You know, you don't want to leave your online reputation in the hands of unhappy customers, right? So make it easy for them to leave reviews and ask the questions you would like them to answer, just like we have on the screen. What did you enjoy most about our service or product? What is the biggest benefit you got from using us? How did you use the service? And perhaps the most important question of all, would you recommend us to your friends? Right? I mean, that is probably the strongest recommendation you can get when people start telling their friends about your awesome service. So that's important. And last, you know, monitor the reviews. You know, respond immediately to getting a negative review. Don't ignore them. And that brings me to Google Alerts. If you're not familiar with it, this is a very, very handy tool that Google supplies us with that is, again, it's free. And, you know, when it comes to reviews, getting negative reviews are part of the business, right? The truth is it any different than someone going around and just speaking negatively about your firm behind your back? It happens, right? You can't avoid it, even when you've tried your very best. Step one in your defense against this, and remember, it is impossible to prevent them, right? But you can take steps to respond immediately. And so I like to use Google Alerts. And if you simply go to that URL, google.ca/alerts, you can set up alerts for your name, your business name, maybe even some of your competitors. You determine what the alert is for. And then what happens when that keyword, your name or your business, shows up in the Google search results anywhere, you get an alert. So you can immediately go to it and see, are you in the news? Is someone saying something good about you? Is someone saying something not so good about you? And now you have an opportunity to deal with that right away. So I highly recommend alerts. I also like alerts, like I say, for your competitors. If there are 2 or 3 competitors in your town that you want to keep an eye on, set them up as a Google alert, and then whenever they're in the news, you will get an alert and you will see what's going on. Highly recommend Google Alerts. And as I mentioned, always, always, always respond to negative reviews. Do not ignore them, right? They don't go away if you ignore them. You know, treat negative reviews as an opportunity. Empathize with their point of view. Acknowledge the challenge they might have had. Tell them you want to help them solve it, And so please reach out to you personally, and you will do everything you can to help solve that problem. Then when people look at your reviews, and people always look at the negative reviews, right? They will also see your reply, and they will see how professionally you tried to handle that negative review. Most customers are reasonable people, and they understand that problems cannot be solved immediately. What they're looking for is for you to listen, acknowledge there's a problem, and that you are going to do your best to try and provide a solution. So responding to these bad reviews really is critical in building your brand image. Do not ignore them. Just think of them as a great opportunity. Fake reviews. Now, fake reviews, a little different story, right? The biggest problem, I think, with fake reviews is it takes time to get them removed. So my recommendation with a fake review is this. The first thing, if it's a negative fake review, respond to it as you would any negative review, as we've just talked about. Contact the owner, once you've responded, then contact the owner of the review site and begin the process of getting it removed. All of the sites where reviews can be left do provide you, the business owner, an avenue for reporting. For example, with Google, Facebook, you can just search, how to deal with a fake review on Facebook, how to deal with a fake review on Google. And you're taken right to their review policies page, and they tell you step by step how to go about fixing it. I'll be honest with you, I have seen fake reviews that have actually taken several weeks and months to get taken down. So don't expect immediate results. And unfortunately, there's very, very little you can do about them. Obviously, the people who own these review sites, they try to eliminate these fake reviews and prevent them as much as possible because it's in their best interest, right? If they get known as a review site that always has fake reviews, it won't be long before people are no longer using that site. So that is the best way to deal with fake reviews. So what are the important ones or the important review sites as I see them for our industry? There's so many of them, you really do have to say, okay, well, which ones do I need to concern myself with in our business? And my belief is the three that you need to pay attention to are Google My Business, Intuit's Find an Accountant, and Facebook. In our industry, I believe they will give you the biggest ROI for your time investment. So let's just take a quick look at each one of them individually. So we'll start out with Facebook. Why Facebook? Well, because most of your friends, most of your clients, most of your potential clients are on there. And I hazard a guess a lot of you are, even though you may not like to admit it. There's 1.5 billion people every month on Facebook. So the added bonus, of course, with Facebook we've talked about is if you don't have a website, which you should, which we've already talked about, right? You can use a Facebook business page to begin developing your online presence without a website. It is interesting. There was a survey done. It was late last year, I believe, by a company called Bright Local, which they study local consumer habits. And in their survey, they surveyed 1,000 people and found that Facebook is the most popular way consumers recommend or review local business. Facebook introduced reviews for business pages about 4 years ago, 2013, I believe, allowing users to leave reviews for brands they had experiences with, whether positive or negative. Many brands choose to disable Facebook reviews. That's right, because you have the choice on your business page that you have to activate reviews. So you can also deactivate. And there's a lot of companies, like I say, who won't activate the reviews because they're concerned about too much negative feedback. I believe if you're worried about getting all kinds of negative feedback in your reviews, then maybe you need to have a look at your business and not the reviews on Facebook, because perhaps there's something going on in the business you need to fix. I believe you should have them up there. It gives you more credibility. And again, it gives people social proof that will encourage them to use your business if others have left reviews in the past. And remember from our earlier slide showing that accounting firm in Winnipeg, that when it showed Google business listing on that right-hand side of the search page, you remember? It showed the number of Google reviews and how many stars, but it also showed the Facebook reviews, right? Lower down. Important. Consider Facebook, please. Now, here is, I believe, the most important one, and this is every small business in Canada should have a My Business listing on Google. All it can do is help you. And how do you do it? Very easy. This is a great free service by Google. All you do is go to google.com/business. The URL is up on the screen, and you say, I want to enter a new business, and you start filling in your profile, your name, your services, the hours of your business, images up there, videos up there. Make it complete as possible. Then needs to be verified by Google. You can do that either through a text. The other way they do it is just simply sending you a PIN. So it's verified and someone searches for the name of your business in Google, you will start getting that business listing for your business on the side of the page. That also gives people the ability to review your business in Google. So in other words, you cannot get Google reviews unless My Business listing. Okay, so the step is get the listing. And once you've got that listing, you can then also get listed on Google Maps. It makes it very easy for people to write a review for you. Just very invaluable, I believe, and something you really, really, I believe, all right. And let's now.
Yes, it sounds like the audio is back on, Steve.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for assisting there, Mike. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead here and just assume we're all good with the microphone, and I'm very glad I had a spare microphone there. So my apologies for that inconvenience, folks, and let's get back to it. So we've just talked about how you must get yourself listed on My Business. Like I say, I believe every small business in Canada should be listed on My Business. So very important and very easy to do and free, right? Doesn't get better than free. So here is one of the things we've also talked about is making it as easy as possible for people to give you a review. So one of the things I like to do is put links to Google reviews in different places. So one of the places I like to put it is in my email signature. So what I've done here is I've put together a very short video I'd like to show you that just shows you how to go step by step, where you actually put a link in your signature leading to your reviews. I'll be right back after the video. So as I mentioned previously, one of the easiest ways to get reviews is to make it easy for people to do that. And so one of the things you can do is include a link in your email signature that when they click on that link, it very easily takes them to the place where they can give you a Google review. And we've already talked about the importance of those Google reviews. So step one is to, if you haven't done this already, make sure you go to Google My Business and set up a business listing in Google. There are many reasons for doing this. So if you haven't done it already, you absolutely should do it. There is no charge for this. It is a free listing. Once you've gone through the process of just setting up your business, you put in the name, the website, the address, your hours, the services you offer. You can even include videos and images to illustrate that much more about your business. And once you've done that and then you have verified it with Google, what will then happen when you go to Google and search for your business and the name of your business, and here's the name of our bookkeeping firm, AIS Solutions, then what will happen is you will see this listing of your business usually over on the right-hand side of the screen. So this will not appear unless you have done that listing in Google My Business. And then all you do simply is you scroll down to the point where it says Write a Review, click on Write a Review. Obviously, don't give yourself a review. We've already talked about that. But simply go up to the top and then Control A or Command A if you're on a Mac to select all of it, Control C or Command C so you can copy it, and then you can close that. Okay, so then we're going to go simply go to where we set up our signature in your particular email client, maybe Outlook, maybe Gmail. For me, it's Gmail. You just go into the settings and go to the point where you set up your signature. And then what you're going to do is you are simply going to type out, and you can use your own wording here. This is what I came up with. And it's just, do you mind writing a review for AIS Solutions? If so, I made it easy for you. Just click here. And then once you've highlighted that, you simply go up here to the icon, that is the hyperlink icon right here. You click that. You paste in that URL that we just copied. You click OK. And now when someone get your email with your signature, the link will be here, and when they click on that link, it's going to take them right to the place here, and I'll show you what I mean. So they have clicked on the link, and this is what will happen. The review box will come up. They can simply give you the 5 stars that you're looking for, type in any details they like, and post it, and there is your 5-star review, and you've made it very, very easy for anyone who wants to give you a positive review. That should really help and get you lots of reviews, and I'm sure lots of 5-star reviews, right? So I hope that was helpful. Very, very straightforward. The only thing I guess I should have put in the review when I'm saying, you know, copy and paste, I mean the URL or the web address up at the top of the page. So you can also do the exact same thing, put a link on your website that people can click on and give you that Google review. So if you're not comfortable with that entire process of copy and pasting, etc., there is actually a website that will do the part of this for you. Now, you must have a Google My Listing in order for this to work, but the website is plepler.com. I don't know, was that plepler.com? I don't know. Go to the website. In the main navigation, you will see Tools. Click on Tools. You'll see in the drop-down, there is a Google Review link generator. So as long as you have the Google My Business, what will happen is it will generate that link for you, which you could then paste into your signature. So very straightforward. Now, that brings us to the Intuit Reviews, right? Now, first of all, you do need to be using QBOA, QuickBooks Online Accountant, in order to be able to add yourself to the Find an Accountant. Now, I believe it's free, so even if you don't use QBO or QBOA, which you should be, right? You should be doing your own books on QBO. But anyway, I recommend you get a copy so you can at least list your profile. And you do that by simply clicking on that icon in the top right, activate search results. Make sure you do that, because if you don't, even if you have a profile, you won't be seen in the search results. So that's very, very important. And then what will happen once you've filled in your profile, when people come to the review site, and they can find this by Googling it, or if they're a QBO user, they can actually go to Find an Accountant right from within QBO. They simply type in their postal code there, and they will get a listing of all the accountants that are close to them. So, now, why did I bring this up? Well, when they see the listing of accountants, they are prioritized, if you will, by location, by their QuickBooks certification, you know, are they QuickBooks Advanced, but also by reviews. Those that have the most reviews, all things being equal, will rank the highest. So again, this is somewhere I think you really need to be. So, and if you want to get really serious about reviews, this is a great, great website, reputationstacker.com. You know, I think it's about $60 a month or something, but on this website, if you want to make getting reviews a big part of your online marketing, this is it. Because here, they will help you get more reviews, manage them. You can even stream them to your website. Plus, you get notified of reviews. It's a great, great tool to help with reviews. So, in summary, what have we talked about? Make sure you get some online reviews. They can help your business. And you know my feeling on having an online presence, whether it's a Facebook page or a website, you need to be found. Ask for reviews. Never ignore negative reviews. Get listed on Google My Business, Facebook, and Intuit Find an Accountant. and make it easy for people to give you reviews. And that is review sites. So let's see, we've got some questions here. Okay. Great question here. I'm not an accountant, so would people even search in the Find an Accountant if they are looking for a bookkeeper? Great question. My experience is yes, because my experience is that for many people, many business owners, they honestly interchange the two terms, bookkeeper and accountant. So quite often I have seen them go and use Find an Accountant, even though what they're really looking for is a bookkeeper. And so I would absolutely recommend using it because I think it would still help you. Hope that answered that question. What else have we got here? Okay, do we have any other questions? Oh, and there's my email address. Like I say, if you get a question after the webinar that comes up, you thought about something we discussed, even if you have a question just about social media, email marketing, websites, or blogging, please send me an email and I will do my best to answer it for you. Part of my background is digital marketing. And so I'd really love to try and help you if you have a challenge or a question. And if you would like to follow me on Twitter, there is my Twitter handle. How are we doing? We got any other questions? Anything anyone would like to ask, even if it's not particularly about this? I would be happy to try and answer any questions that you may have. No, looks like we've covered them all, I believe. Yep. Okay, well, here on the screen, like I say, send me an email if something comes up afterwards. And here on the screen is this is the next webinar that is coming up in the Intuit Business Building series of webinars. So make sure you put that one in your calendar. And I really hope you found some value here today and that it will help you, and make sure you go out there and start getting some reviews for your business.
Steve, it looks like we have a question from Allison and Kimmy that just came in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Canada 1. Yeah. Okay, so question here from Kimmy. What do you think about outsourcing your social media needs if you don't have the time to do it yourself? Absolutely. I mean, the biggest challenge I have found when I talk to, social media marketing companies is you need to spend some time with them, helping them understand your business, understand the audience you're trying to attract, understand what you want social media to do for your business. And as long as you do that and you keep, you give them the guidelines of what you want them to do, what you want them to say, what you're trying to accomplish, then you review it once a week, make sure they're doing what it is you've asked them to do. And there's lots of good ones out there. And like I say, as long as you take the time to explain to them about your business. So, oh, we got the questions coming in now. So, Google wants the street address, but I don't want to include that. How do I bypass using my home address? Yeah, that's a tough one. Because Google, my understanding is that Google will only verify a business that has an address. In fact, I believe the last time I checked, even if you had a, wanted to try a post office box and not put your address, they wouldn't do that. What you could try, I guess, is I know there are some places, what is it, mailboxes, etc., or the UPS store. One of them, I think, at least somebody told me this. Now, I'm going back now a year and a half, so I don't know if they still do it, where you could, not only rent a mailbox, but they would also give you like a unit number, address, if you will. But like I say, that is tough. It's a tough one. That's going to be hit and miss, because, as I say, I completely understand you not wanting to put your home address in there. But I'm not sure there is a solution. But I would, you know what I would do, Karen? I would Google, Google my business and just say, don't want to enter my home address. What are my options? And see, because I can absolutely guarantee you that this challenge has come up before for people, and so there will absolutely be something on online, hopefully that can help you. But unfortunately, at this point, I'm not that hopeful. Yeah, no, Karen, I understand completely. I really do. It's tough, but I guess looking at it from Google's standpoint, they need to be able to verify a business because they want to put that business also into Google Maps. If there's no address, they can't do that. So, sorry, I didn't have the answer you were looking for, but that is, I believe, the way it is. But you can still do Facebook, right? Still do a Facebook business page, still do a website, very inexpensively. Again, my belief in marketing, you do what you can, right? And if there's something that you can't do that for whatever reason, well, then you do something else. But make sure you're doing everything that is possible for you to do to market and grow your business. Do we have any other questions here? I don't see.
There's a question from L. Jordan asking about the company you use for your website and how much you spend on average.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So the question is, how much would you spend on average for a website? I don't want to sound, flippant or just smart here, but it's sort of like, how much do you spend on a car? Website prices are all over the place. I mean, I have seen them from, a few $100s literally to thousands. So I think when you're starting out, the best thing to do is to get the website up as economically as you can, and that's why I like the Squarespace and Wix. And they're not the greatest websites, but for 20 bucks a month, it's a great small investment to get you online. And then, if you belong to a networking group or something like that, and ask around, who's a good website developer, who's a good website builder, what is their price range. Really, today, with all the technology, you should be able to get yourself, if you hire a website designer developer, a pretty decent looking website that would do just about everything you would want it to do, including a blog. I would say for, $1,500, give or take. But like I say, I've met other people. In fact, I was talking to a friend of mine in our business who this past summer spent $8,000 on a website. Website looks great, but was it a great investment of the $8,000? I'm not sure it was. So that would be my recommendation. Get online as inexpensively as you can to begin with, and then go from there. Hope that answered your question. Okay, do we have any others here? Okay, so Allison says, I gave Google my address, but they do not display it to the public. On the map, I am a circle around my neighborhood. Great, so there's maybe the solution, Karen. Right, so that's a change then for, I think, for Google My Business, because I remember they were really 5 or 6 years ago, they were absolutely adamant that there had to be an address. So that's terrific. So there is a workaround. So they now understand the value of the home-based businesses. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Any comments on Yellow Pages? I'm not sure I have too many comments that we could publish, but no, I think today you can put a free listing on Yellow Pages, yp.ca, and you absolutely should. I don't believe you should be spending one dime in advertising in the Yellow Pages, but that is just my personal opinion and nothing else. I believe there are better places to invest your money for marketing and advertising that will get you a better return. Again, just my opinion. I remember years and years ago in a previous business that I used to own, I used to spend lots of money in the Yellow Pages because it worked. That was then, this is now. Things have changed dramatically in the world of marketing and growing your business. So I would do the free listing and nothing else. Okay, sorry. Kathy is asking, can you please repeat the no address solution, please? Well, it looked like, according to Allison, that she gave them her address, if I'm understanding this correctly, but I presume requested it not be listed because it was her home, and so it just, the circle now on Google Maps for her business circles her neighborhood, not her home. So I'm understanding from Allison that there is now a way you can give your address to Google, but you can tell them this is my home and I don't want it listed, and they will do that. Like I say, that is, I don't know how new that development is, but that's certainly not the way it was when Google My Business first came out. But if there's any way of getting your business listed on there, it really is worth taking a little bit of time to try to get listed. There's no downside. It will just help you and help your visibility online. So highly recommend it. Anything else? You're welcome, Kathy. Okay. I think we got them all here. Is there any that I have missed, Mike, that you can think of, that you see? Okay. Well,
I think we covered everything.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. And again, thank you very, very much for attending. And I sincerely hope you found value. And like I say, please feel free to reach out to me at any time, and I will try my best to answer any questions you have. Thank you very much. Have an awesome day and take good care of yourself. Bye for now.